Yeah, so I'm Sean Jansen. I've been a commercial photographer for a long time now. I absolutely believe that if you have a gift, you need to share that gift. We believe that mentoring is a key part in that knowledge sharing process. We find really cool and amazing ideas, and then we share our knowledge. Welcome to our studio. Today we're going to talk about high key lighting. I've been getting lots and lots of requests from our photographers in our community saying, hey Sean, how do you make that amazingly white shot using high key lighting? So today we're going to walk through the steps, the equipment that we use, how to set it up, and why we do it. The why is pretty easy. When you look at all the magazines and you look at a lot of family portraiture and things of that sort, the look that we're after is something that's very soft, very even, and we want to remove all the shadows. We want to do this so we remove effectively wrinkles and we eliminate a lot of post-production work. Most of the print work that you're going to see, especially in cosmetics ads and things of this sort, is going to be based off of a high key lighting foundation. So we're going to go through each step. We'll talk about what we will need to do to get it all set up, and then you'll be able to take a hold of this concept and roll with it on your own. So what kind of gear do we need? Well, camera, obviously, it's a big preference. I'm a big Nikon fan. I shoot with the Nikon D3S. I also have the Nikon Nikkor 2470 lens, great portraiture lens. It's going to give us the depth that we want. Also on top of the camera, I have a trigger. This is what allows us to wirelessly cause our strobes to fire when the camera fires. And one of the last pieces of equipment we're using are these foam boards. These foam boards you can pick up at almost any arts and crafts store. These are 4x8 foam boards. And I've taken 2 of them along with some gaffer's tape and I've pieced them together so that it makes a nice bookend. These are being used as flags and also a reflective surface to cause even more light to be able to spill onto our background. Also, the flag effect keeps a lot of this light from pouring onto our model. These are very cheap, very inexpensive to make, and they are a tremendous add to any studio lighting scenario. And last but not least, we need our lights. We're using the Westcott strobe lights and the Westcott strobe light pluses. We have 5 of them located on our set. We also have softboxes on our 2 front lights, our 2 heads, to be able to control the light and where we want it, and also make sure that light's diffused and comes through nice, soft, and evenly on our model. So we're standing here on our set. We've already built out our key components, which are 5 strobe heads. We've got 2 located in the rear that are going to pour a tremendous amount of light on our background. We have 2 up front that are going to be able to expose our model. And then we have 1 additional kicker light, and I like to get creative with a lot of the things I do. And I want that kicker light to come back and actually give a nice little hair light or rim light around my model's face. So when we're setting up this foundation piece, essentially we need 4 lights. The 2 rear lights I actually have now metered and have them 2 stops brighter than the lights that we're using up front to expose our model. When we meter out these lights, we want to make sure that we're pouring an enormous amount of light and it's going across our background evenly, so we're going to meter it in several different spots to make sure that we get even exposure across the entire background to avoid any hot spots or anything like that. Now the 2 front lights, I've got 1 set up as my key light and another as a fill, and it's just going to create a very soft look, not much shadowing, not much contrast at all, to be able to eliminate most of the shadows in our image. And it's going to provide that, again, beautiful cosmetic type look and add. The last light, that's my little fun piece. That's where I get to expose and create a little bit of a pop onto our model, and also it creates some separation across my background. That way our image doesn't look as flat. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to meter off all of our lights, and then we'll bring our model in and we'll get started. So we're going to go ahead and raise up our Lumisphere to the out position. We need to make sure that we're getting a nice even cast a light from our heads all the way across our backgrounds and make sure that we don't have any hot spots. So we'll go ahead and meter that out now. And all of it's perfectly set. So now that we've metered for our background, we need to now meter our heads up front for our model. Our background metered at f22, meaning that we need to now make sure that our exposure on our model is about f11. We need to be 2 stops on a difference. It's a 4-to-1 ratio against our primary lights. So let's go ahead and take that meter reading. And sure enough, I'm sitting at about f11. So now we're about ready. Time to bring in our model. We'll start shooting. So now that we have our model on the set, we need to make sure and place her appropriately on our set to where we don't have a lot of the background light pouring onto the back of her. It's going to make the exposure very difficult. We're setting about 15 feet away from the background to be able to eliminate a lot of the background light pouring onto the back of our model. Now, this is very important as we space it out and the position of our model, because we really need to just expose for her and allow that background to be well blown out and well overexposed. The number one thing that we get is we have the reduction of any sort of lines. Now, we've got Madison here. She's a teen model. She's about to turn 14. And we don't have a whole lot of lines with her yet, but as our models get older, we want to reduce the amount of post-production work, the amount of smoothing, number of things that just are very time consuming in post-production, and high key lighting can do that for us. It's going to create a very glamorous look, a very soft, smooth, even flow across our model, and it's going to eliminate a tremendous amount of post-production work. And now it's time to start shooting. You ready, Madison?
Sure.